All right, let's talk about Caleb Williams and his performance with the Chicago Bears. I'm going to talk about not just him, but the team as a whole. There was some not great stuff here. I'm going to be honest. I did think that we saw him settle down a little bit as the game went along, but and it wasn't just his fault as well. Some of these other issues, some other issues emerged. But yeah, let's just get into the film. Let's talk about what he did, wrong, why things got off to a slow start, but also how he was able to recover. Let's start off here. So what's going to happen is, this is, the immediate sequence was a rough one, quite frankly. There was some bad stuff here. There just was. So right off the bat, Caleb Williams takes the snap, and well, this is no good. Immediately fumbles, does fall on it, but you see, I couldn't exactly tell what was happening there. I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be a fake jet sweep, and contact with the ball was made and it fell down, or if this was supposed to be a jet sweep and the timing was just off. I don't know, but either way, that's a mistake that you don't want to have happen. Granted, better to make the mistake in the preseason than the regular season, right? But still a mistake you don't want to have happen. They then immediately followed it up with a false start, so these pre-snap penalties, not what you want to see have happening. That's not necessarily on Justin Fields, but still something, another pre-snap penalty. This one, again, I wouldn't call this on Justin Fields. It's just a receiver started moving before the play. Sometimes those pre-snap penalties are on the quarterback. I don't think either of these were. But it's still, they're mistakes that you don't want to see your team making. Granted, it's the preseason. Like I said, better to make it now than in the regular season. But it is also the last preseason game. Like, you're not going to be able to simulate this in a live game situation again after tonight. You're going to have to just go into week one and hopefully have it fixed by then. So definitely not ideal. But now we can get into like an actual play as opposed to those, things that definitely matter but aren't really, X's and O's here. The way this play works is, oftentimes you look for the receiver who's going more over the middle. You also have a halfback who's going to be going underneath. Those are the two routes that you can look towards on this play. Williams is going to take the snap, and traditionally in a situation like this, where you see that the linebacker is going to be coming over to try and make a tackle on the running back, you do actually want to throw to the running back right here. Now, I kind of get why Williams doesn't like this as much because of the, it seems like the linebacker is doing a pretty good job of getting over there quickly. So Williams ends up looking elsewhere and ultimately is going to try and get outside the pocket and not quite be able to do so. Not a bad play by Caleb Williams, but again, we kind of talked about, I feel like last preseason game, how things were so easy for Caleb Williams, right? And that was a good thing, is that you bring in Ben Johnson with the attempt of trying to make Caleb Williams not look like he's just he has to do it all the time. He can, just run the offense. Well, here, this is another play where it kind of feels like he has to do it all the time. Now, heading over here, so this is going to be I thought that he did show some nice things here. So, like, for example, this one's going to be a zone coverage concept that the defense is going to be in right here. Williams starts off this play by looking towards over the middle, looking further down the field, but he doesn't love what he sees. And I think this is what we saw a little bit of last week. We're seeing it more again here with Williams. Watch him instead just quickly get to the next read, throws a check down, which, goes weird running by the Chicago player of going backwards, but then ultimately getting forward, getting the first down. Hey, it worked, right? But that's a good play. You're reading the defense, figuring out what it's giving you, and making good things happen. Also, I thought this play was actually really interesting. So it's going to be a designed rollout. That's not that crazy. We kind of talked about that last week. I think we'll see more Ben Johnson design rollouts with Caleb Williams because he is such a good runner with the football. But watch how when this play begins, watch just what direction it's going. He's going more towards the top of the screen, meaning that, if he wants to make a throw here, he's going to have to make a throw across his body, which again, we've seen him do in college. He's, that was what part of why he got drafted first overall, right? Is because of how good he can make these off-platform throws. I wonder if Ben Johnson's going to try and take advantage of that. And I actually really like what Caleb Williams does on this play, where he sees that he has a chance to run. And I always feel like the best quarterbacks in today's NFL view themselves as an option. And honestly, even, like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning would have the occasional run when it made sense, right? They were a less good option. Williams is the better option, so use it. Watch as he rushes forward, and he's going to end up doing a good job here. He picks up the first down. Again, he shows his athleticism on that play and is able to get out of bounds, avoid a hit. all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, this is what you want to see out of Caleb Williams, these types of plays. Unfortunately, then we go over here, we're talking about it. It's like, hey, this is a good drive by Caleb Williams. It's not perfect, but like, at least you're making good things happen on this play, which is nice to see. 3rd down and 5, even if you don't convert the touchdown, I think that it makes you feel a little better here, right? Gives you a little bit more confidence after kind of the first couple drives really didn't go well. This is a zone coverage play that the defense are in. It's cover 3 zone, and they're for the most part, just making it clear. I think here's what I think happens is you see that player right there, the safety who's covering over the middle of the field. I think Williams just saw as far in as he was and thought, oh, this is cover 2. He's not going to be going deep. I think that's what threw Williams off. But anyways, that's the route Williams is going to look towards. A route you could look towards whether this is cover 3 or cover 2, but the way you have to look at it is different. Because if it's cover 2, well, essentially once he gets open, you can throw it to him. Unless it's going to take really long down the field that the safety covering the bottom half of the screen is somehow going to get over. Like, you can kind of throw it to him whenever he's open. You don't have to worry about the timing too much as long as you just time it to when he'll be the most open. But when Williams takes the snap, he waits far too long, never read that the safety was over there. And you see here, this is double covered. I mean, this is just not a throw that he should be making. So he must have just misread the coverage, which, hey, it was a pretty good disguise by the Chiefs. I will say that, but also you're playing the Chiefs starters, right? I mean, this is what you have to deal with. And the Chiefs do this. The Chiefs aren't the only team that will do stuff like this. So again, maybe I'm being too hard on him. It was a good disguise. As you see, could have very easily been picked. And you see, it was actually Rome Odunze who saved it, where you see that he was able to, play good defense. Hey, maybe if the wide receiver thing doesn't work out, he can play corner. Maybe he can be Travis Hunter and do both. I don't know. Maybe not. But ultimately, again, it's not the right read there. But again, heading over here, he rebounded nicely after this. And again, it's okay to make mistakes, right? He's still a young player. He doesn't need to be great immediately. And I thought that he rebounded nicely. Like, I'll just do a montage because I figured that's better than going through each one of these plays individually. But you see this is, first read getting open against zone coverage, but he used his eyes to look off a little bit to make it work better. This one, again, a zone coverage play action. That wasn't his first read. Going through his progressions, though, this play, a 2nd down and 10. Again, kind of his first read is, that was a 2-read play, but making that work. And then this one, again, reading something getting open, but knowing to get the ball there quickly. That was all good stuff. So, and these are, the Chiefs still have some of their starters out there. This wasn't full starters, so it wasn't like he finally got going once, full backups came in, although there were a decent amount of backups in here as well. So it also wasn't like he was playing against, playing against the starters. That is fair to say that he had his best drive once the backups came in. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, this wasn't what you were hoping for if you're a Bears fan, right? Last week was so exciting. This week less so. But again, it's going to happen. It's the preseason. Clean up these mistakes. There are mistakes they got to clean up. I mean, that fumble on the first play of the game due to just not good timing. On the first play of the game, how do you mess up timing on the first play of the game? I get it if it's, the third quarter. What are you doing? How do you stumble out of the gate that quickly? I don't know. But yeah, ultimately, those are my thoughts on Caleb Williams and his performance with the Chicago Bears. What are your thoughts? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.